Now, I say, in one retrospect, it's not just meditation that can do this, that can raise you up from this. In my experience, service to others and good deeds can be a very selfish thing. They can make you strong. They did me. I became very strong thanks to doing good deeds in service to others. See, if you liken, earlier I said in the video, you can liken anxiety to a ball bouncing off two walls. Let's liken anxiety to a ball on a pool table. And that ball is just, it's got infinite power to bounce off the cushions off the side of the table. So you've got this pool table, the ball's just bouncing around the place like this. And this motion is the human mind flicking between the indecision. And the human mind is something that likes to move constantly. Constantly. As you look to you don't even realize your mind is moving. If you watch a tree blowing in the wind and you say, well, is the wind moving the tree, or is the tree moving in the wind? Which one is it? Is it the tree moving? Is it the wind moving? The actual fact, they are just happening. They are just doing what they do. They are the bang banging. It's your mind that's moving in evaluation between the two. Your mind's deciding, is the wind moving, the tree moving? And it's your mind. If your mind's quiet, you take it in. Just like a child, just as Jesus told you, become as children to enter the kingdom, and you do. Everything's a wonder, everything's stunning, everything's beautiful. But the mind likes to move, and the movement of the mind is the root of the problem of anxiety. So if you liken it to a pool table with a ball bouncing around, meditation can slow down the ball. Now, every time the ball hits a cushion or hits the side of the table, it releases something that you don't want to hear. It releases doubts. It releases worries for the future. It releases doubts about the past. But all of these things are echoes. You know, the future and the past only exist as an echo to show you where you are, which is the present moment. But as this ball moves across and it's bouncing and bouncing, the faster and harder it bounces, the more anxious you get. It's too much. So you need to slow that ball down. And you can slow it down, first of all, in meditation. And imagine meditation is almost as if grass starts to come up out of the pool table. So there's more friction, so the ball has to roll more slowly. And this is what the meditation does. It creates more friction on the surface of the table so the ball can't bounce and roll as fast. It slows it all down a bit. But the problem we then have, or I've seen, is that the ball will still get to the cushion and the doubt will still come. And you can't be in a state of meditation all of the time. You have to go about your daily life. And so when it hits the cushion, the ball might start again. And it's picking up speed, and you're starting to feel anxious again, and you need to go and meditate and grow the friction on the surface of the table. Imagine it as grass coming out of a pool table, so the ball has to slow down. And this is good daily to do this. This is a necessity. But something that I discovered in my life is that when the ball hits the cushion and you get these doubts and these worries, that in actual fact, if you live in service and you put self-importance out of the window and you put the pursuit of truth and service to those in need on the planet inside the equation somewhere, as the ball hits the cushion and you get a doubt about your past, eventually what happens is the cushions start to get bigger. With every good deed, with every moment of charity, with every person you help, the cushions get bigger and softer. And then as the ball hits the cushion, it barely bounces back out again. And instead of getting a negative attack from within your thinking mind, within your ego, you might get a doubt. You might get a doubt of, hey, you didn't do good enough with this. What if this doesn't work out? But if you fill up on such things as good deeds, it's very easy to say to yourself, actually, you know what, yes, that might not work out, but it worked out for this, and look at the good it did. You might say, yes, I made that mistake in my past, but I also did this, and that wasn't a mistake, and that helped somebody. And you might hit something and say, yes, I did hold contempt for that person after what they did for me, but if you practice the true virtues of humanity, then when you hit it, you can say, I'm empowered because I forgave that person that wronged me, and I healed from it. You see, extending the virtues into your life of charity and forgiveness and gratitude softens the cushions to such a degree that it gets to the point where you actually, if you want to move that ball, the ball will always be moving. But if you want to move it with some speed, then someone's got to come over and give it a good whack. And life sometimes will come and give it a good whack. And we will all worry in life. You will never get to a point where you don't worry. But if you're not consuming the wrong substances, if you're practicing meditation, if you're not consuming the wrong media and entertainment, and you are nourishing your mental body with more positive input and thought, then even if the ball gets a good whack, all it's going to do is bounce off a pool table of soft cushions that release nothing but good memories, good thoughts and positive affirmations because you've been practicing them. And in time you become blessed as I am, where my doubts of the past are, I have doubts of my past, I have things I regret, but I've forgiven myself for them. And when I get anxious for the future, I just need to sit still and say, okay, I'm worried maybe about paying this bill for the children. Maybe it's about doing this. But I get still and I remember, okay, we've always managed before. I felt this way before. Somebody came in the end. God sent somebody in the end. The bang heard me. Because the bang didn't ignite itself to create suffering. God didn't create all that we are just to suffer. And so he listens. But you have to let him in. And the way to let him in is to pull the plug and let your anxiety drain away. And with it, let the idea that you are a thinker, that you are a feeler, excuse me, drain away with it. Because when there's nobody left behind to feel, accept the continuance of feeling, there's no one left behind to think, accept the continuance of thought. You can reconnect to that pool, you can heal, nourish yourself, and you can come back to your waking life. And you can remember that you choose how you perceive it out there. By choosing to have your body alchemically balanced, by choosing to have your psychology fueled with the correct information to allow a human being to be as functional as possible. And by allowing yourself to remember that billions of years ago, you were there for the start of creation. Your ego wasn't. But that which is expressing itself inside of you right now, by beating your heart and growing my hair and growing your children in front of you right now, the force behind there, the life that is us, was there. And so the life that dwells in all of us was present. And every face you meet, every bird you hear singing, every dog you hear barking, is that creation experiencing itself and coming to you. It is the banging in its own way on that particular day. And that for me dissolved all feelings of anxiety. And all I had to do was take that plug out. And that plug was the idea that I was an ego inside a bag of skin. That I was separate from everything. Life is relationships. A thorn is spiky because your finger is soft. Do we eat fruit because of our intelligence? Or do we eat it because of the intelligence of the tree who made it sweet and made it delicious? Do we walk without ground? Or does the ground walk because we have something to walk upon? Do we enjoy the light and the daylight without knowing it's dark? There was interconnectivity to it all. Losing that interconnectivity, losing that connection with Source, is where we get caught inside the idea that we are our thoughts instead of being thoughts. We are the thinker of our thoughts, and thus we start this indecision. You are not the thinker of your thoughts, because if I ask you what you're going to think in 2 minutes, you won't be able to tell me. You are the one who gives attention to the thoughts that appear. This does not make you the thinker. And when there's no one to think the thoughts anymore, then you can connect to that part of the matrix which connects you to God, the matrix of reality which connects you to Source, to God, connects you to the origin of the ignition of that bang. Where you were present. I wasn't present as John St. Julien by any measure. But the life force within me that has gone on this journey to this point was. You were present at the source of creation. How can we be anxious once we realize that? But realizing that means that you have to let go of being the thinker of your thoughts and the feeler of your feelings. You have to do as Jesus said. Take no thought for your life. If you take no thought, and you know God will provide beyond faith and knowing, like the knowing I am blessed to have. Then you can't have indecision. It's not possible anymore. So you simply train away your anxiety. That's my experience anyway. God bless, guys. Bye.